There it is, finally locked
so
in.
happy, Papa Smithy. You get to see ADD on his signature Sion there towards the top side of the map.
Yep, SMEB goes back to the amp term start that MAHA was famous for and makes life hell for ADD on the Nautilus.
As DEFT gets himself the shield, actually, but nice knock-up from Max. Mata in trouble, but MAHA a little bit more, down to sub 200 health. No potions to speak of as well, as DEFT sitting on 300 himself. So everyone a little bit low.
I like that you mentioned that because we're going to see Beyond and Score meet.
Yeah, battling actually as Red Buff still circling around Beyond, but Score's found the brush. Will be able to leap onto Beyond. There's the last shot, and it's Beyond that picks up the kill. And Pawn is looking for this one onto Beyond. Will be able to answer that. Grabs the double buffs, but Ian, he wants to grab some for himself. Threaded volley, but that's going to be the pull. And Ian grabs it with the transfusion. 2-1, very early for MVP.
Pawn thinking about a Weaver's Wall.
Yeah, skating his way down here. Scores in as well. Thrill of the Hunt
5 men.
is down. Yeah, massive block to come in as well as Pawn's going to get knocked up. There's the equalizer. MAHA in trouble. It's going to be Pawn falling already, but DEFT grabs himself the double. Hemoplay comes in as Mata puts himself in front of his AD carry. And MVP not going to be able to get anything more. SMEB might be in trouble, but not going to get hit by that Q. And Ian just playing defense as ADD's towards the top side. Just going to put pressure on this turret. Yeah, Pawn throws the threaded volley through. Score will need to actually hit his smite button this time as he gets... Oh, actually, no. Beyond wants to try and grab it. DEFT is just going to solo kill MAHA. And now Score... No, not going to be able to grab it. A little bit early on the smite. And Beyond says, yep, I am steady-handed and steady smiteable? I don't know what that word is.
You reached for it, Max.
Yeah, I went for it, realized that it wasn't there, and just decided to go for it.
Karma Lucian, a very strong dueling lane. As we're going to first see a replay of what happens when you get an item advantage on and a level advantage.
To the face.
Yep. That was Max just not respecting the level 6 potentially coming through from the Lucian. DEFT is looking for an assassination.
And Weaver's Wall comes in as well. Ian, the Proto Belt goes down. Pawn actually gets rid of his wall, unfortunately. Ian didn't have the flash as ADD now going to get turned on. DEFT gets himself out of harm's way as Mata very aggressively positions and gets the snare onto ADD, who falls. Beyond now taking a lot of damage, getting burned down with the Flame Spitter. Pawn flashes his way out. It's a double kill for the Taliyah. Max gets evaporated underneath his inner turret, and yeah, that is not how you want to feel as the little Sion that wants to be hitting people, but he just can't.
MVP just hoping to slow the game, and here's KT trying to accelerate it.
Yeah, another Weaver's Wall comes in as Ian does have the flash available. There's the equalizer down as Ian throws in the pull. He's trying to go 1 versus 2. The teleport's coming in, but now ADD has made it his way to the fight. SMEB turns around, burning down the Vladimir, and that's going to just beautiful assessment of what you can achieve as ADD just couldn't do anything without the Vladimir for damage.
I felt like the shot calling kind of fell apart on the side of MVP as ADD now is caught.
Yeah, DEFT has turned up as well, so a lot of extra damage now. The culling comes in. ADD will get snipped by it. Max taking the last couple of shots, and that is 2 swift kills for KT. Pawn now 2,000 gold ahead of Ian, and that is 3,000 gold now being shoved into the face of MAHA. Even that Ardent Blaze doing noticeable damage, which is not something you get to often say about that particular ability. As SMEB possibly caught out of position, doesn't have the Zhonya's completed and will just die. He's going to make sure that KT can pick up this dragon, but is that even really worth it? Giving up a lot of control on this map now over to MVP.
3 members invade, so alright, it's not a solo invade. Mata's not going to die face checking. That part so far is good. You can see that some brush camps are here, though, from MVP.
Yeah, Max may be caught out of position as well. As DEFT are going to find him. Yeah, the equalizer goes down. Weaver's Wall to get Pawn into the fight as well. 3 versus 2, and there's multiple fronts now as Beyond's in trouble. He should be the first casualty as DEFT just dashes over the wall. ADD soon to follow, surely, and it's going to be Pawn that grabs that kill. Now 3 versus 5. DEFT looks immortal here on the front line for KT. And MVP relegated to underneath their turret will lose their red buff and possibly more. And especially when you're snowballing this hard, grabbing some extra attack speed, extra damage, and especially extra safe damage as well, as Mata may be in trouble, but does have the cavalry arriving, and ADD is now the one certainly in a bad spot. A Score is able to pick up that kill, his first of the game. Now Beyond has to run. DEFT is hunting him. The Weaver's Wall is going to get Pawn in there. Beyond slowed down and now possibly taken out as Ian gets himself over the top. The Hemoplague comes in. That is probably the closest thing to a successful zoning Hemoplague that I've ever seen.
Yeah, Spirit Visage first Vlad, with how far behind MVP is, never going to have enough damage, but I got them to pull away a little bit, but meanwhile, SMEB solos down and in a turret. They really want to turn, but MVP for now are not buying into this bluff.
Well, MAHA can help out with some shields, but Max is going to turn up. Another fight on multiple fronts. The Hemoplague does come in, but DEFT just avoids everything. Ian's in trouble. He's exhausted. He's going to fall down first off. Another kill for DEFT. ADD very, very low. Decimating smash. Massive knockoff. Max has possibly started a good fight here for MVP. Double kill. Make that a triple. Is that the quadra kill for Max? The Sion's going off. As Pawn's the last man standing. Where did that damage come from?
How does Max keep doing it, making it happen with a Baron steal on Thresh and now potentially a second Baron secure? Just picking up incidental kills on support Sion. And how does MVP, against the run of the game, get Baron every time?
That was ridiculous. The three-man knockout with the decimating smash and then everything else working out for the Sion. I believe he wasn't the main damage dealer in that, but he deserves that zoom. That man looking good.
We're in this crazy world again, Atlas.
KT were literally hit by a train. That is exactly what happened.
I think technically it's a transformer, but...
Yeah, but you can call transformers by the names of the things they transform into, can't you, Pop Smithy?
He's a mecha, though. He's a robot. A robot train?
I don't actually know the rules, the transformer rules. I'll need to talk to my friend Shia LaBeouf about it. As there's the equalizer. Really nice positioning here for KT as everyone's already been softened up. A big takedown onto Max, who's now actually able to run around this fight doing a fair bit of damage. Pawn was taken down by MAHA earlier on. Good hook comes in as Marta's being locked down. Score is dead. It's a double kill as everyone's turning it around on the side of MVP. And could it be happening another time? KT turned around game one. Not sure whether they can do it again.
The handshake in the mid game is just insane. Crazy team fighting. MVP can only win in 5v5s, and KT decided, well, with enough ahead, let's go for a 5v5. But guess what, KT? After this play, you're going to be hundreds of golds ahead, not thousands of gold ahead, maybe even behind. As you can see, and they're going to look for the end.
They're looking for it. Of course, it was an ace here by MVP. The inhibitor falls down. Baron buff still circulating the members of MVP. Ian decides he wants to tank up this turret, and he can do so. Second inhibitor, Nexus turret is going to fall down. MAHA is not going to be enough, and MVP take us to game number 3.
The great train heist of 2017 happened right there.